Lovely viewers, take a deep breath and hold your hearts gently because today's story is the kind that reminds us all why we believe in love in the first place. Whether you're watching from your couch, listening on the bus ride home, or curled up under your blanket after a long day, this story is your invitation to witness something deeply intimate and moving, something that's already sending waves across the world. Yes, we're talking about the heartfelt, soul-stirring open letter Lee Min-ho just wrote to his beloved wife Song Hye Kyo on their wedding anniversary. It's not every day that a global superstar lets down all the guards, strips away all the celebrity gloss, and chooses to speak from the softest parts of his soul. And that's exactly what Lee Min-ho did. This wasn't a PR move. It wasn't staged. It wasn't pre-approved by his team. It was real. It was raw. It was romantic in the most genuine sense of the word. Let me ask you, lovely viewers, how often do we get to witness a man, admired by millions, speak so vulnerably about love, partnership, sacrifice, and growth? In a world so full of fast headlines and filtered snapshots, this letter was like a handwritten pause. And we are here to unfold every word of it, every emotion behind it, and every ripple it created in the hearts of fans and fellow celebrities alike. So picture this. On the morning of their anniversary, while the world was speculating about what kind of extravagant gifts or glamorous getaway they might be enjoying, Lee Min-ho quietly uploaded a single photo on their shared YouTube community tab. It was a sepia-toned image of the ocean, waves gently crashing against the shore, with the caption, "For the one who calmed my storms." Below the photo was a link. It simply read, "An open letter." Clicking that link led fans to a note handwritten by Lee Min-ho himself. His familiar, neat cursive stretching across cream-colored stationery, dotted with soft watermarks of daisies, Song Hye Kyo's favorite flower. What happened next? Well, the internet did what it does best. It cried, it screamed, it paused, and then it collectively melted. Let's break it down together, line by emotional line, because you deserve to feel every part of this journey too. The letter opened with, "To the woman who made my world softer, my days brighter, and my heart braver." Right there, stop. Let's breathe in that first sentence. Isn't that the kind of line every person dreams of hearing? The kind of line that says, "I see you, feel you, you changed me." And viewers, it gets even more tender from here. Lee Min-ho went on to write, "When we stood together on that day, promising forever, I didn't yet understand what forever really meant. But with every sunrise that's kissed your face, with every tired night you've waited for me to come home, and every quiet moment we've shared while holding our daughter, now I know. Forever isn't in the grand things. It's in the smallest moments that only we notice." Lovely viewers, this is the moment where thousands of fans commented in unison, "I'm crying and I don't even have a husband." The way Lee Min-ho acknowledged not just their love, but also their journey through parenthood, through exhaustion, through everyday life. It painted a picture of a marriage that is not about fairy tale perfection, but about sacred imperfection. He continued, "You taught me that vulnerability is strength. That being seen fully, even in the moments I felt I had nothing left to give, is the most courageous thing I've ever done. You never asked me to be a perfect man. You just asked me to be present. And I will spend the rest of my life doing exactly that." Let's pause, viewers. Right here, we need to ask ourselves, when was the last time we saw a leading man in global entertainment speak like this? This letter wasn't just for Song Hye Kyo. It became a mirror for so many relationships. For every man learning how to express love better. For every woman wondering if her quiet devotion is ever noticed. It reminded us that love isn't grand gestures on holidays. It's quiet consistency on regular days. Now, perhaps the most unforgettable part of the letter came halfway through when he wrote, "Sometimes I lie awake watching you sleep, and I'm overwhelmed by the fact that you chose me. That every morning you wake up beside me, knowing all my flaws and still say, 'I love you.' That kind of grace humbles me. You don't just love me, you redeem me." Can we just hold space for that sentence? The humility, the reverence. It wasn't about pedestalizing her. It was about honoring her choice, her commitment, her love in action. That's what made fans around the world whisper, This is real love." And it didn't end there. Lee Min-ho also addressed their daughter. "One day she'll read this letter and know how lucky I am to have you. How her laughter sounds like yours. How her strength comes from watching her mother rise each day, full of grace even when tired. How the best parts of her are also the best parts of you." At this point, social media didn't just react. It exploded. Artists turned that paragraph into calligraphy prints. Mothers shared it with their daughters. Fathers reposted it saying, "Let this be the example our sons learn from." It became more than a letter. It became a legacy. And then, he closed the letter with something so poetic, fans are still quoting it. "If I had to choose again, I'd still choose you, even if it meant going through every challenge twice. Because loving you has never been a burden. It's been the honor of my lifetime." Viewers, did you feel that too? The moment the letter went public, Song Hye Kyo responded not with words, but with a video. A soft 15-second clip on their YouTube channel. It showed her placing the letter gently in a box labeled "Memories That Matter," alongside their wedding photos, baby's hospital band, and a seashell from their honeymoon. No words, just emotion, just love in its most visual form. And what did the fans do? They didn't just watch, they participated. Comments poured in. "I showed this to my husband, and he cried for the first time in years. This letter helped me believe in love again after divorce. Thank you, Lee Min-ho, for reminding men it's okay to love out loud." From Manila to Madrid, from Seoul to Seattle, this letter became a global event. Not just because it came from someone famous, but because it came from someone real. Even fellow celebrities weighed in. Park Shin-hye commented, "This made me text my husband just to say thank you." BTS's RM reposted a snippet saying, "This is poetry in motion." And Hyun Bin, he quietly liked the post. Something fans took as a silent nod of support and admiration. And what about the fans who've been there since day one? Those who watched Min-ho rise from young actor to global icon. They were the ones crying the loudest. Because they saw not just a man growing in fame, but a man growing in love. And now we turn to you, lovely viewer. After hearing all this, what stirs in your heart? Does it remind you of your first love? Does it make you want to write a letter of your own? Does it inspire you to love louder, to express deeper, to notice more? Because this story, this open letter, isn't just a chapter in Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo's love story. It's an invitation to all of us to write our own letters, to hold our loved ones closer, to say what we often leave unsaid, and most importantly, to believe again. Believe that somewhere between the chaos and the quiet, between fame and family, between stardom and stillness, love is still writing its own beautiful letters. Let's continue this beautiful journey. Because Lee Min-ho's letter to Song Hye Kyo didn't just end with ink drying on paper. No, it opened the floodgates of connection, tenderness, and a ripple of joy that traveled far beyond their marriage. This love story, so full of depth and vulnerability, has continued to blossom in the days that followed. And you, dear viewers, have been a part of every heartbeat. So now, picture the next scene. Just a day after the emotional letter went live, Song Hye Kyo posted something breathtaking. It was a quiet video titled, "What Forever Feels Like." Just under 2 minutes long, the video began with her sitting by the window of their home, holding their daughter, the golden morning light cascading across their faces. No filters, no effects, just raw, real love captured in a frame. The audio playing. A gentle voice reading Lee Min-ho's letter aloud. His own voice. Yes, he had recorded it, and Song Hye Kyo chose to share it with the world. The sound of his voice trembling slightly as he read the part about their daughter was more powerful than any special effect could ever be. Fans couldn't help but notice the way her eyes welled up in the reflection of the glass, holding their baby close to her chest. A wife, a mother, a partner, fully present in that moment of honor and devotion. And then came the surprise twist that no one expected. At the end of the video, handwritten in delicate cursive, was Song Hye Kyo's own letter. Yes, you heard that right. She responded, not through an interview or a publicist, but with her own heart laid bare. Let's read it together, shall we? To the man who saw me when I thought I was invisible. To the partner who made life sweeter when I thought I had tasted all its flavors. To the father of our child, who holds her like a dream he never wants to wake up from. You are my calm. You are my home. You are the miracle I didn't dare pray for. Phew. Breathe, lovely viewers. She didn't just respond, she met him there. In that sacred emotional space, she matched his vulnerability, echoing the love that's built not just on chemistry, but on courage. She continued, "You once told me that I made you braver. But love, you've made me softer. You've made me believe that love is not meant to fix us, but to hold us while we become." Viewers, do you feel how deeply that lands? How rare it is to see two people at the peak of fame, not clinging to their image, but leaning into each other. This isn't just love, it's safe love. The kind that doesn't demand performance but offers presence. And as if that wasn't enough to leave us all sobbing into our coffee mugs, she added a final line that broke the internet in the gentlest way. On this anniversary, I don't want diamonds. I want time. More mornings with you. More giggles from her. More evenings with nothing but our stories and her sleepy arms curled around our fingers. I want this kind of forever. This kind of forever. That phrase alone trended in over 30 countries within hours. Artists began designing necklaces, journals, and canvas prints featuring the phrase. Couples around the world began writing each other letters using that line. And you, our beautiful viewers, started sending us your own forever stories too. But guess what? Lee Min-ho wasn't done just yet. That evening, the couple dropped another bombshell. An intimate YouTube live stream. No makeup, no formal setup. Just the two of them sitting on the floor in their living room, baby monitor gently blinking in the background, sipping tea and talking to fans like old friends. I didn't expect the letter to become what it did, Lee Min-ho confessed with a bashful grin, cheeks slightly flushed. But I just wanted her to know. And I wanted you all to know that love, real love, isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet and consistent. Song Hye Kyo smiled, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. When I read it, I cried. Not because it was grand, but because it was true. Every line reminded me that love can be learned every day. Then came a truly unexpected moment. A fan commented, "Can you read the letters to each other again?" And without hesitation, Lee Min-ho picked up his phone, pulled up the screenshot, and began to read again. With her beside him, holding his hand tightly. But this time, there were giggles between the tears. This time, when he read the part about watching her sleep, she nudged him playfully and said, "That's when I drool." This time, when she read the part about their daughter's sleepy arms, he leaned over and whispered, "She gets that from you." And just like that, the world didn't feel so distant. Fans felt like they were right there in that room, witnessing a love so real, so beautifully ordinary, and so refreshingly public in the best way possible. And then, the most heart-melting moment of all happened. Halfway through the live, they heard a tiny cry from the monitor. "She's awake," Hye Kyo said softly, standing up. The screen stayed live. A minute later she returned. Baby in arms, hair tousled, still a little sleepy. Lee Min-ho took her into his arms and looked at the camera with the proudest grin imaginable. "She's the real letter," he whispered. Fans lost it. I have never cried harder at a live stream. This isn't a couple, this is a legacy. I want this for me. One day. Somehow. And do you know what's most powerful about all of this, dear viewer? It wasn't perfect. It wasn't scripted. It was messy and emotional and honest. And that's what made it unforgettable. They reminded the world that love isn't just about beautiful words. It's about brave ones. And that anniversaries aren't just milestones to celebrate. They're moments to recommit. So now we turn to you once more. What would your letter say? Who do you want to write to today? Not because it's a special occasion, but because they are special. Maybe it's your partner. Maybe it's your parent. Maybe it's yourself. Because if Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo have taught us anything, it's this. Love is always worth writing about. And you deserve to write the next beautiful chapter. So tell us in the comments, if you could write one open letter today, who would it be to and what's the first sentence? We're listening. We're reading. And we're with you. Always.